Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the monthly meeting for the Bonita Springs Fire Control and Rescue District Board of Commissioners, Monday, August 10th, 2020. Please rise.
I'd like to have a moment of silence for 3 firefighters that lost their lives across the nation this past year, as well as remember especially the family of Tony Christensen in Naples, real close to home. Dear God, we come this evening and we give honor to those that have gone before us, those that have made a sacrifice, a service for the lives of others. I pray, Lord, that you'll be with the families of those, that you'll give them comfort and strength, and be with the Christensen family at this time as they go through all of the grief and the mourning. Thank you for the brotherhood and the fellowship that they share together among their firefighters and here in this area. Pray, Lord, that you'll watch over our firefighters in Bonita, that you'll protect them, Lord, and give them strength, give them peace at all times. It's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comment on agenda items this evening? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve July 13th, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
One motion, July 2020 and current expenditures and ACH payments, the acknowledgement of the financial report, the acknowledgement of wire transfers and transfers between accounts, and budgeted purchase orders over $10,000.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now comes the fun time.
Yeah.
Presentations.
Well, as we know, since COVID started back in March, April, we've kind of held off on doing these presentations, whether it be a promotion or years of service pins. So I thought, it's been long enough, and it's time to recognize these people. So we're doing them a little at a time. We've got a backlog, so some of these are a little bit older than the others, but at this point, I think it's time to move forward and try and get back a little bit to business as usual. We're trying to maintain our social distancing, so we won't do our typical hugs and kisses and handshakes when we hand these things out. So, but we'll still recognize the people and have them come up, and we'll get pictures with them. And it'd be their choice whether to get mask on or mask off when they get their picture. So, the first one we have is promotion of Jason Brode. What can I say about Jason? He's been on the job for about 19 years now. Came to us as a paramedic. We stole him from Lee County EMS when he was only a paramedic. We sent him through fire school. Him and Chief Madden both were hired at the same time. And we put him through fire school. I think they were one of the last ones that we actually hired as non-certified and put through fire school at the time. So we did that, and in 07, Jason was promoted to lieutenant, and then to BC in 2018. He's got his associate's and bachelor's degree, and he was promoted to deputy chief of fire in May of 2020. And he's adapted to the role very well. He's adapted to it real well, better than what I thought he was. I'll be honest. I had a little hesitation or apprehension about Jason tends to be a jokester every once in a while, so I'm like, is this guy really going to take this position seriously? Is he going to do what we need him to do? And he's surpassed and exceeded all my expectations. So at this time, I'd like to bring Jason up and pin him as Deputy Chief of Fire and Special Operations. So congratulations again to Deputy Chief Jason Brode. Next one, a few of them can't be here, so I'll just mention their names and tell them how long. I didn't really do a synopsis of them, but Jeff Krupp has been with the fire service, or been with in the fire inspection division for 15 years. He came to us from a sprinkler contractor, and for the first 5 he did inspections, and the next 10 he was doing plans review, and he's back out doing inspections from existing to, and helping out with Worth Anderson doing the, for new construction. So he's a valuable asset, so congratulate him for 15 years. The Assistant Fire Marshal, Cornell Lee, again, 15 years. A little quick story about Cornell. You know, he started here as an administrative assistant, and then we put him through, or he asked to go through to be a fire inspector. Then he became a fire inspector. Then he wanted to do plans review, so he did plans review, and now he's our assistant fire marshal. So he's, you know, promoted right up through the ranks. So congratulations to Cornell for 15 years. I'm going to skip down to the. I'm going to go over the 1-year ones, then I'm going to come to the 5 years and do it that way. So the next one is firefighter Marcos Aries. Firefighter Aries has been with us, just completed his 1 year back in July. So he's been a month and a day, or a year and a month. He's a great guy. You know, going through his orientation, he had a little problem with his wind and his being in shape. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. With being in shape. So between the two captains, they've whipped him into shape. And we joked about it when I let him off probation a couple of weeks ago. I decided to take him off probation based on his 2 battalion chiefs' recommendation. I told him that he's got to continue to keep working out. We don't want him to get out of shape like he was when he first got here. So he agreed to it. Marcos is doing a fine job. When he came to us, he'd already started paramedic school. So he's completed his paramedic school, and he's in the credentialing process right now. So congratulations, Marcos, to 1 year. We're holding our breath so everybody knows. Next one for 1 year is firefighter Daniel Hutchinson. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight with us. His grandmother had passed away, so he is on funeral leave right now. So our condolences go out to him. But again, Daniel Hutchinson's another great hire that we did. He's also a reservist for the Coast Guard. So nothing but good things can we say about him. His 2 battalion chiefs highly recommend him and said he's a good go-to guy also. So congratulations to Daniel Hutchinson. Next but not least, Ashley Diaz. As I like to refer to her as 2.0, because we have an Ashley Pounders, and when she got hired, I'm like, I can't just yell Ashley, both of them would look. So I've commonly referred to her as 2.0, which she has taken to it quite well. Ashley is a joy to have around in the front office. She always brings something good to eat, and she has a great time with what she does up there. We make fun of her now that this COVID has started. She's the keeper of taking temperatures every morning. So we have a good laugh in the morning on guessing whose temperature is what and what we're putting down. So she's a great joy. And not only that, she has her bachelor degree, well-versed. She has taken, when we were all out for COVID, her concentration was on FEMA classes and planning, which is why I have no idea, because those are some of the boringest classes I've ever taken in my life. But she seems to go to it, and I'm very proud of her, because if and when we ever have something here and it needs to be FEMA and we need some forms filled out, all that, she's going to be our go-to person. Recently, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, Chrissy's leaving us. She did apply for the position of Chrissy, which she was very much qualified for, but unfortunately we went with somebody else. But in order to get her the needed experience of what Chrissy does and what Anna Marie has done, we're moving Ashley from the front of the office, the receptionist look, to over what Anna Marie does, more of a filing and doing a lot more responsibility of an administrative assistant. So I want to congratulate her on 1 year and to many more, and thank you for what you do. And I'd be remiss, I'd like to also recognize her father, who is here, who is battalion chief at at the airport. He was one of the ones that, when we had the call 3 weeks ago, Chief, we had the person, USAR went out, he was the commanding officer at the USAR call when we had the guy with the broken leg at the top of the new control tower. And also, he was also called in when we had the fire of all the rental cars. So, Chief, you've raised a wonderful daughter.
Thank you very much for being here.
The next on our list is firefighter paramedic Colin Boston. So where do I start with Colin? Colin was one of those guys that we hired in I believe was one of the last ones that Paul Phillips trained as a training officer. So he was one of the last groups that was a protege at Paul Phillips. And you can see that it rains through from what Paul did. Paul recommended him from Tice, so we stole him away from Tice Fire Department. And, you know, in the short 5 years that Colin's been here, he's advanced from firefighter to driver to paramedic. Now he's our FTO on B shift and also an acting lieutenant. He sits number 7 on the acting lieutenant list. He just recently, you know, has been okay to be a lieutenant at any station, which is quite a feat. He also holds a certification in Incident Safety Officer, Fire Officer 2, Instructor 2, Fire Inspector, and Hazmat Tech. And then if he doesn't have enough things to do, he decides that he wants to go and teach at the Fort Myers Fire Academy on his off time. So I'd like to congratulate Colin on his 5 years, and here's to many more, and possibly a lieutenant badge in the future. And finally, Greg Washmuth, the man in the back of the room, standing up. Greg, same thing. We like to see a lot of people, and Greg came to us from Lee County EMS via Charlotte County because he was at Lee County EMS for a number of years, and then decided to take a job as a firefighter EMT at Charlotte County. And I talked to Chief Fair out there and asked him what kind of guy he was. We knew what kind of guy he was because he worked down in the South District when he was with Lee County EMS. So we knew what kind of guy he was, but I wanted to find out what kind of firefighter he was. So I talked to Lieutenant Jason Fair, or not Lieutenant, I'm sorry. He was Lieutenant with us, but Chief Jason Fair up at Charlotte County, and gave him the heads up that we'd probably be taking him away from him. And he wasn't happy about it, but we did what we had to do. So again, in Greg's short 5-year career, driver, and then became paramedic, because he was an EMT, so we went to paramedic. He also was the FTO on A shift, but then when we moved him to B shift, he had to give that up, so he's on B shift now. Again, he is also Fire Officer 1, Hazmat Tech. He's also received numerous awards while with Lee County EMS for providing the highest patient care. So, and he is number 10 on the lieutenant list. And again, he signed off as a lieutenant to work at any station. So again, congratulations to Greg on his 5 years, and here's to many more, and a lieutenant promotion someday. And that's all I have right now, sir.
Thank you. Congratulations to everybody. If you're welcome to stay, this is a time that we take a couple of minutes. If you'd like to call it a day and not stay for the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to, but if you don't want to, it's okay.
Chief, would you like to present those to your daughter in front of everybody, or?
Isn't that nice?
Okay, I guess we can get back to order. Commissioner's business. Commissioner Murphy.
I have nothing else extra today.
Commissioner Castillo.
Yeah, I'd just like to say a few words about Chrissy. I'm just really sad to see her go. She's been a nightmare. I mean, she's been so good to me, but seriously, she's been terrific. She's taken care of all of us like we're her own, and it's incredible what you did and what you do. You're going to be sorely missed, big shoes to fill, but I want to thank you for everything you've done for me in your time here. I appreciate it.
You're here.
Commissioner Slakta?
I echo your words, and Chief, I just want to thank you and your staff for going down for the services for the firefighter in Naples.
Oh, no problem, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner
It's a
Mature?
good representative for, Benito.
Just what Commissioner Castillo said, I feel the same way. Sorry to see you go, and I wish you the best. You're awesome.
I echo that, but I'm really, really upset that one of our vendors stole somebody from us, so we need to look at that. The best to you. I'm sure you'll do well wherever you go, and if it doesn't work out, we could probably find a home for you back here again. The other thing I wanted to say is that condolences to the family, and we lost a longtime former commissioner, Frank Lyles. Uncle Frank, he was around here forever. I served with him when I first got on the board, and there was never a dull moment. He will be sorely missed, but just a shout out to the family that actually works here. And Frank, an interesting story. When I first moved to Bonita in the early 80s, Frank's wife was the branch manager of the bank here, and she gave me my first construction loan in 1983. So I go way back with them. And anyway, just not to belabor.
How many years Commissioner was you Commissioner?
How many years have I been commissioner?
No, he.
Oh, he was 22, I think, was he? Or
20 plus 2.
yeah,
He did 20 years and then was appointed.
22 years. But there's going to be a huge void in this town because he was very civic-minded. He worked on so many different boards, and BSU, he was on BSU from like 1986, and he gave a lot of time to Lions Club and Shriners. I mean,
Rotary Club.
Rotary. Yeah, he was a guy that always had something funny to say, even if it was the lousiest situation.
Isn't that
So
the truth?
He will be missed.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have any old business? Okay, we need a motion for the disposal of assets report.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we need a motion and a second, and then we'll talk about this AV equipment and installation from Pro Audio Services quote.
So move.
I'll second it.
Okay, now, obviously, we got some discussion.
Yep, if you'd like. So basically, discussing is that myself and Antonio, our consultant, we went over it. This was the only bid that we received from, we sent out, I think, 6 or 7 bid packets. This is the only one we received. They did give us a number of options. Myself and Antonio went through them, and we felt that the one that we presented to you, the board, was the best option for us right now, which is $59,178.62. That will be replacing all the AV equipment that you see here, relocating all the AV equipment into this room back here, and then also adding a camera and all the incidentals, whether it be subscriptions and whatever, and training to learn how to use it. Myself and Antonio went a week ago to a church that they had just recently done and looked at the different equipment, looked at the different software programs, and basically picked the person's mind who's going to program it and show us how to use it. Very impressed with the company and with the person, have full confidence in them. The only thing that this bid does not include, which I will keep the board informed, would be any type of construction. Right now, Antonio and I talked a couple weeks ago, right now we don't think we need a window or a door or anything like that. But if it comes down to it, that we need to do something, we'll bring it before the board. Right now, I'm thinking maybe a window in the door and having a mirror back here so they can see it. We have talked about
One question is
communications.
that why it was over there and not over there, only because of line of sight. I mean, that's,
the biggest reason is the room we don't know is big enough,
Okay.
and the fact that the AC equipment, and we already have a rack with all the other AV equipment over here. So to relocate everything over there
Yeah,
would be
totally
a
makes
bigger
sense.
cost. And a majority of the time is like we talked about, let's use the city of Bonita Springs. Their person, Vincent, doesn't have line of sight with the dais. You know, they look at the
He
four
can
different.
communicate, though.
No, they
No?
communicate through the mic or tap or something like
Okay.
that. They don't have earwigs or nothing like that at the city.
Okay.
It's just, he knows at 5 o'clock, and if it's not right at 5, he sees him tapping it, or the city clerk will lean back and give him a high sign.
I thought
And
that-
they do have a couple different camera, like again, if we're using camera 1, they can put camera 2 and 3 on you guys to see, hey, what's going on? Again, it's going to be a pay attention type thing, and we do have a contingent in there to have some type of two-way communication.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, Greg, but I think it worked really well.
Yeah, it didn't seem, it does this, not that I'm recommending it at this time, but this system will have the capabilities of live streaming if we wanted to go live like the city does. And it would be based on our bandwidth, but the actual equipment that we are purchasing has the capabilities of doing that.
That's great.
Did I forget anything, sir?
Well, if Antonio signed off on it, who are we to question? Because he's the best at this, so. All right, all in favor of the motion on the floor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just a side note, sir, this is part of the bid process. This will be done before September 30th.
Good,
So October's meeting will be on a new system.
good.
Isn't that nice?
The next item, I believe, was what Commissioner Machiro brought up last month, the recognition of LCSO South District. I guess we need a motion to approve.
Yeah, because there's going to be a cost for a plaque and
Yeah,
whatever.
well,
I don't see it being over $200 or $300. Commissioner Matero and myself spoke today about this. He's going to put what's on the plaque, what he'd like to say in recognition. This is going to be in recognition of Captain Blake Lee and the South District, Lee County.
Oh, we're going to
so.
do that at the 9/11 ceremony?
At the September 11th ceremony, that's our
Oh,
plan.
great.
Need a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Proud to do it. Okay, Chief's report.
Chief's report. So, I have a few things on my list here. The first one is as the chairman and I spoke a little bit today, the call volume continues to drop. Total call volume seems to be down. August and September seem to be our slowest months, so we will see a decline. We have also seen a decline in the COVID-19 calls here in the last couple of weeks. So either A, the social distancing, B, the mask, or C, just everybody being aware of their surroundings and what's going on seems to be working. I did see a news article this morning that even the hospitals the last 2 weeks have seen a decline in patients. I think it's Naples Community has like 19 total COVID patients in the whole hospital. And they're at like a 70, 80% occupied rate. So continues to decline, so what we're doing is good. So I just wanted to keep you guys apprised of that. The next one, FASD, you know, they have quarterly meetings. They're hoping and they're planning on having an in-person meeting come October the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. It's going to be in the Keys at Hawks Cay. We were there last year. It's Duck Key, but it's Hawks Cay Resort. It's going to be, we would go down on Wednesday, noonish, afternoon, somewhere around there. Classes are on Thursday, and Friday morning, leave at noon on Friday. So we do have rooms reserved for the commissioners and myself and Chief Scott, since we are the only ones in FASD. We do have in the budget next year to probably send Chief Madden up to Tallahassee at the March session to do the certified district manager. The next thing I have on my list is myself, Deputy Chief Brode, and EVT Keith Van Gelder will be going to Wisconsin the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th to do the plans for the two new trucks, the new 100-foot platform and engine 24 out here to replace it for a anticipated March delivery. We have to do the plans. If it was just the engine, we wouldn't have to go up. We'd only make the 2 trips. But since this new 100-foot platform, we've never built the 100-foot platform. We did the 107-foot aerial stick. We did that one, but since we never did a platform and it's a new Pierce, we wanted to go up and lay it out the way we want to do it. On a side note on that, and I've told the board this, my plan is to move the ladder truck around. It will not be replacing truck 25. It will probably go either to truck 21 or truck 22. And then ladder 26 will be relocated to the other one of those. So our 2 new ladder trucks that we have will be housed at Station 1 and Station 2 in the March of next year. We're still evaluating which one would work better downtown versus the one on Station 2. The next thing, just a reminder, we do have a budget workshop for the commissioners September 1st at 2:30 here at Station 24. Just a reminder. Staff and myself have been working through the budget. We're very confident that we can get it. We can do you guys what you want to have done.
And what time?
2:30.
2:30.
The time the Chinaman goes to the dentist.
Pardon me?
2:30.
When you're 2:30 to 2:30. Lastly, my last thing that I have, I just wanted to say a few words. You know, Chairman Lohan made a comment about Foster and Foster stealing Chrissy away. He sees it as a negative, and I do see it as a negative also. But it's also, I think, I take it as a very proud moment that, you know, Chrissy's been here 2.5 years, and what she's accomplished in that time has made someone stand up and take notice and offer her a job in something that she's very, very, very confident and competent of doing. And it makes me feel proud as a administrator that somebody wants our people.
Absolutely.
So I like to think that they've offered her more money in a better position. Not that it's me that she has to work with for the last 6 months since I've been the chief, so that I've driven her away. But I know it's not that. I know that she does a fantastic job at what she does, and any company would be lucky to.
Now we have to have a new taskmaster.
Yeah.
She texts us and reminds us of everything.
Well, I'm sure Anna Marie. She's going to teach Anna Marie all the tricks of the trade. Hopefully, no one comes and takes Anna Marie away from us. So, no, I just want to say thank you for what you've done. This will be her last commission meeting. She leaves on the 21st.
Try not to look so happy.
You can't see it on the smile. So I just want to say thank you for everything that she has done, in spite of her being from Ohio State. That's a running joke that we always have with each other, and I'm going to miss her wit and us teasing each other. The only one of the positive thing is that at least there's no football for Big Ten this year, so
Yeah, exactly.
she won't have much to go on. But I just want to publicly say thank you, and you will be missed, and we'll have time to laugh and cry at the next Friday. So thank you, and that's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Nice job. Anybody else have anything? I'm not gonna go down the list. We've got your report in there, Chief Road, and we have Fire Marshal Washburn's report. Alex Grant has something he'd like to say, I guess.
Good evening. I did a few calculations, and on the $72,000 retirees that started, and basically after 17 years they'll get $115,700. For those that retired at 60,000, they'll get, after 17 years, $96,200. And I did the one for 132,000, which amounted to 210,000 after 17 years. And the last one I did 78,000 that when he retired, and that would be, I think.
Excuse me, Alex, are we going somewhere with this? Because
I just
This
For
is,
your
this is,
information.
this is pension business. This
Yeah,
isn't
okay.
regular
Well,
board
so
business.
For your information.
Okay, well,
Did
we're,
all the calculations.
we're very well aware of it. Thank you.
You might want to get hold of Chrissy this week,
Okay.
go over that with her.
If you need,
Well, with nothing else anybody else has going on, I guess quick question that I was going to bring up that I forgot. What's the time frame on our new app?
The new time frame is, we're still shooting for October 1.
Okay.
We had to sign up for Google Play Store, and iOS Store. So
Okay.
both of those have been done, and we're changing a little content around on it, but it's, we're still shooting for the October 1 deadline.
I know you mentioned to me, but we're going to still, be able to work with BSU on getting the information out?
Yes, yes, I had a meeting with, a phone conference with John Jenkins, the CEO, director of BSU, and they've also offered, and they've done this in the past, like during brush fire season or during hurricane season, if we want to put a flyer in with their bill as it goes out, we're allowed to do such. So he's asked us to just write it up, send it over to him, and I've also told him, let's say they have a water main break, because it's going to be public safety, that we would also push that out for him as a courtesy through BSU.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.